Here we go. Gates about to drop.
Bang. Let's go. VP hole shot, courtesy of VP Racing Fuels. Good and clean. And is that Hymas?
I think that may be, but he's got pinched off there.
Man, great footage here from the drone cam. That is outstanding to see those guys coming through that section.
All righty, as we get this sorted out here on lap number 1, Wes Kane has our top 3 down on the Yamaha podium.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to get it right back to you real quick. Gavin Welton finishing 3rd. Come on over here, bud. Gavin Welton, congratulations. Who do you want to thank, man? Yeah, shake my hand. Who do you want to thank?
My mom, my dad, Cobra, Tyson, Dunlop, he's Moto Lab, Moto C, T-Rex Throttles, Pro Taper, Spectro, Bell, Scott, Seven, Ethica, Asterisk, Oppenstar. That's what I can think of.
Congratulations, guys. Give it up for Gavin Welton. Congratulations. Good job. How about this little guy right here? Come over here. Levi Letty, folks. Levi Letty finishing 2nd. Yeah. He's like, what do I do with my hands? Just thumbs up. Levi, congratulations. Who do you want to thank?
OGs, TCD, Elusive, 60, Noble Graphics, Mitten Cycle, Rycar Reffing, Midland Ford, Darcy Russo Mechanicals, and my mom and dad.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, Levi Letty. And our champ, guys, the number 23, come on over here. Beckham Smith, hold that number 1 plate up high. Yeah. Beckham Smith, congratulations. Who do you want to thank?
My mom and dad, brother, Telpetitsis Cobra, Shorts Motorsports, Fast House, 100% PR2, Tapped House, Taylor Painter.
Anybody else? Is that it? Hey guys, give it up. Beckham Smith, hold it up high. And he's going to do the champagne toast. Your champion, 51cc 4-6 Limited. Give it up, guys, from the Yamaha podium. Back to you with the action.
Hey, back here, Romano, man, starting to stretch this thing out, and Hymas doing what he can to try and catch up.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier in the 85 class. You know, you got every player in this class up front. Romano, Hymas, Char, LeBlanc, Jet, Towers. I mean, they're all right there, but yet right now Romano has complete control of this race because he got a good start, he got clean air. Hymas had a great jump, he was with him, but when you're following versus when you're leading, Romano's getting to go exactly where he wants to go, put his bike in the spot he wants to put in every lap, and that's been the difference right now for him gapping a little bit right now. I mean, these guys are both going. We're going to see some lap times here as they're getting ready to cross for the 2nd time.
Wow, Matt LeBlanc under all kinds of pressure. Sorry, JH, as they drop down into the gator pit.
Got the pass, actually, Rodney, yeah.
Yeah, they're firing back on him right now, though. I mean, he is right back on it. Kimball Jett is behind them. Brandon Scherer is the rider that was in the number 3 spot. LeBlanc is able to get around him, but man, Scherer is pounding hard to get back. Gavin Towers now up into a number 5 spot. Kimball Jett drops back to 6. Aiden Shive, Chris Canning, Jeremy Ryan a lap ago. It's still Shive and Canning, but Gage Stein now moving up into a 9th place position outside the top 10 after 2 laps of racing. So here comes Stein. He's got some real estate to make up.
GT Money picking up a position right there, getting around Kimball Jett. Both him and LeBlanc. Boy, with some fast lap times, turning a 149. Hymas had a 148, but your leader, the guy you were talking about with the clean air out there, pulling off a 147, and I'm thinking he's going to find some more speed out there.
Yeah, he's definitely making some good line selections out, but it's, again, out front, it's nice. He's got that opportunity. He's put himself in that position with a good start to be there to where he can make those choices, but Hymas now is following him. So he's able to see where he's putting his machine and might be able to pick up a thing or two as to where he might be able to make up some time here later in this moto.
Yeah, as you say that, you look on the Racer TV screen, and Hymas does look like he's chipping away at it. It was a 2-second lead when they came in after 2. And Hymas finding some speed out there on the Honda. A little caution right here, wheels on the ground. The rider's doing a good job, but that kind of slows things up a bit for him.
Got a rider off the side of the track there, right on the edge of the track. They're trying to keep safe out there as Romano drops down into the Gator pit. Hymas, now I'm going to tell you, watching what I've seen, Hymas is one of those riders that is likely to kind of just sit right where he is. When we get to the halfway point, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. We're going to see a lot more aggression out of that rider, and you're going to see him move on to the attack if what I've seen earlier in the week is consistent.
And right there, you talked about it, 0.7 seconds, Hymas closed up in that lap.
That is nuts. Leblanc on the move into the number 3 spot. Towers on the move into the number 4 position. Gap there in between third and second, 7.7 seconds, and you got another 2.5 seconds back to Towers. But the heater those guys are putting on is strong. They're pushing.
It's so hard to watch this race. There's so many different battles going on right now. You got the battle for first, you got the battle for third going on back there, and then there's a battle for the 6th place position, and then all the way through there 2x2.
Hey, it's not a cliche this year, Rodney. It is deep. The talent is deep. Believe it.
Yes, you certainly got your money's worth if you're checked in and sitting by the fence side here at Gatorback Cycle Park this week. And those of you at home, you're definitely getting a great treat on RacerTV.com.
Good look there at the gap between first and second. Here comes third place Leblanc. There, I mean, those guys up front are definitely checking out right now. And these two, Leblanc's got to worry about now getting caught. He wants to stay in third while he's trying to move forward. So he's got that going on. Where Hymas up front, all he is right now, he is locked in on Romano, wanting to see how much time he can make up on him each lap.
I almost have to think he might still be toying with him right now. I don't think we've seen Hymas even begin to make that push in that pinch just yet. He's just making things, just kind of feeling the situation out. Hey, I need a Cameron Arico. Cameron Arico, I got something for you up here in the tower. Cameron Arico makes their way up here to the tower. You got the green light, or we got the green light.
Hey, Rodney, just as you were saying that, Romano, he can definitely feel Hymas there in the rear view because turned to 146.9. He's on that throttle trying to spread it out a bit. The gap now back up to 2 seconds.
But again, look at Hymas.
And look at him reeling him in now. Forget about it. Forget everything I just said.
Hymas consistent with 147 lap times. He didn't pick it up. He didn't slow down any on his lap time, but he is starting to recognize, and that happened in this last section of the racetrack. That gap opened back up. So I think maybe a little bit more sense of urgency right now as we approach the middle part of this race now for Hymas. You're going to see him start to wick it up. He's definitely not going to let Romano get out of his sights if he can help it.
No, and right there, I saw that section they just went through there, through all those ruts. That's the third different line that I've seen Chance take through that section. So he's maybe trying some things. He might have tried to see what worked for Romano maybe the lap before. He went outside the last lap before that. So he's either searching a little bit or he's just trying to find what's going to be comfortable for him to put on that late moto charge if he feels like he's got him. And also you could have a situation where there's just certain parts of the track, obviously, where one guy's going to be faster than the other. So, he's going to try to figure out if he knows a spot where he's not as quick, he's going to try to figure that out right now, too, while he's following Nicholas, how he can get past him.
Yeah, Romano definitely got a good flow going, and as it looked like that gap was widening back out as we approach the end of this 5th lap of racing, it seems to be tightening right back up. So this is that section of the track that may favor a little bit to the 21 of Hymas now as they drop down into the Gator pit one more time.
Hey, Rodney, while this is going on out front, back in the battle for the number 3 spot, Gavin Towers all over that rear wheel of Matt LeBlanc. We'll be seeing them come down in here past the announcing tower in just a second. That gap, though, between second and third, huge, as Romano checks in 5 complete with a 148. Hymas with 5 complete and a 148 as well. Yeah,
they both turn 148 breeze, both riding very consistent lap times. The gap remaining at 2.1. Here comes that battle of LeBlanc and Towers now for 3rd and 4th place position.
Towers with the pass.
Towers, and that's what that was all about. LeBlanc dropping back to 4th. Brandon Scherer solid in the number 5 ride after 5 laps.
Well, can Hymas make up the time, Rodney? I think, 2 to go? Is that right?
Halfway. We're halfway right now.
I'm sorry, halfway. What the heck am I thinking?
This is a pro sport. I think they're going, 10 laps, 10 laps, something like that. So
should be 10.
Yeah, so with that being said, this is where I expect to really see Chance Hymas start to pick up his pace. And you know, honestly, wouldn't be surprising to see the Romano to do the same thing. These riders both have been training for these types of moments and this part of their career right now as they work and look toward the professional end of things.
Yeah, we got Swanee in control of that program. We've been talking to him a little bit back there at the Goat Farm now since Star Yamaha's moved to Tallahassee. And I've been following him on Strava, and we've been keeping in touch with some of the Yamaha kids, and you can see the work they're putting in, the volume of work they're putting in, preparing for moments like this. You know, the good thing, again, going back to the industry and our sport, everyone's been talking about longer races. We need longer motos, preparing yourselves better for the pro ranks. This is the class right now where you want to see these guys doing these longer races, getting ready, because, I mean, we're talking less than a year away. Some of these guys are going to be riding, 30-minute plus 2 motos, two of them a day. So, this is where it starts right here, and all that training's already started and ramping up that program.
Dropping to 149s. Both riders, I mean, it's just like they're both in a zone and in a flow right now. Nick Romano, actually, Jaime seems to be keying off of Nick Romano right now. Ooh, what's going on back there?
Yeah, Leblanc and Char, they're just side by side going into the bottom of the pit there.
Back under pressure, Matthew LeBlanc now. As Gavin Towers checks in third. When it rains, it pours. Matthew LeBlanc still hanging on to the spot, but not by much right now.
Yeah, LeBlanc, 0.6 seconds. That's it. 0.6 separates them.
Now they're dropping down the Gator Falls right now. If you're watching from here at the racetrack, and LeBlanc has still got the advantage. I have to say it, neither rider really appears to be super, they're flying, don't get me wrong, but neither rider, again, seeming to be super aggressive at this particular point.
Running similar lap times. Towers, LeBlanc, Char, all of them running, very similar lap times. Their fast lap was within, looks like about a half second of each other as well. Obviously, again, we talked about this earlier, this consistency amongst all these fast kids in all these classes, starts are so crucial. Just like at the pro side, you hear the pros talk about it all the time, how important the start is. The days they've gone by where you can be the fastest kid on the track and get a bad start and run up front. There's too many kids these days. Look at all the names we're talking about. We've been watching them for years. These kids are now putting in the work. They're all in the same type of a program out there training hard. Obviously, the machines are all super equal these days. The manufacturer's doing a great job putting good bikes underneath them. And this is what you get. You get super close racing with a bunch of fast guys up front.
And I really thought that Romano was starting to stretch it out over Hymas when we were looking out on the Gator's tail in the back section of that racetrack. But as they close up on lap 7 complete, I mean, he is right back into basically that 2-second range or so. A 1:48.4 that time around for Romano, a 1:48.8, still 2.3 seconds right there at 2 seconds again.
Char, I believe, just took over LeBlanc right there. Rodney moves into that number 4 position.
So big change there. Again, LeBlanc finding that pressure. He's been under it from Gavin Towers for a couple of laps. Now, obviously, Brandon Char. And so probably the most beat up and the most bruised up right now is Matt LeBlanc. But we'll see if he can dig deep and come back on these guys here later in this moto. We are 7 laps deep into, I believe, a 10-lap race now. So about 3 to go. This is a good time for these. This is a good time, like you said. We're talking about the longer motos for these riders, preparing them for the pro ranks. This is a good time for them to figure out how to pace themselves in these longer minute motos. Because the one thing that you don't want, obviously, you want to sprint maybe in the early part of it, but you can't sprint for an entire, say, 20 minutes of racing out there. So you've got to find that flow and then figure out when it's time to go.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to, when you get your jump, you want to get out front. You either want to extend your lead or you want to close the gap, depending upon where you're at, where your start is. But then, you're looking at a situation where you settle in. LeBlanc and Char, those guys, not that those guys aren't going slow. If they had gotten the whole shot, it might have been a whole different situation. But the situation for them right now is they're battling with each other, right? So they're losing time trying to cat and mouse each other, as opposed to the other two that were kind of out front and, Chance checking in behind him and deciding he's going to settle in and ride with them.
So getting a word there, I don't know, but is Brandon Scherer, they're saying, may be on a 252 stroke out here. I have to listen when they come look at it when it comes by here in just a few moments. We'll double check that for you, Adam Gordon.
Yeah, it won't tell us.
Yeah, it doesn't say there. But Romano in, Hymas in, and there is the break. Looks like Romano keeping steady at a 149. Hymas, though, slowing down a little bit. So what I was expecting, that push here late in the moto, I'm not starting to see out of Chance Hymas.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can see it. Yeah,
he's
there
right.
it is. Yeah, he's right. Two-stroke. There it is. You can see it on the screen.
They ain't dead,
Good
baby.
shot by our Racer X TV crew.
We got everybody's attention up here, Adam. But it is that. And that's pretty interesting to think about putting that machine against these machines out here, I think, JH, and to perform the way he is.
We heard a whatever from the background on that. The bottom line is Ronnie Mack is smiling ear to ear somewhere out there right now. He's going, let's go 7-3 Yamaha.
Even if it ain't the Screaming Eagle,
That's right, yeah. 8 laps into it. Nick Romano staying consistent, like you were talking about. He's got a 159 right there, and Hymas now back 4 seconds.
Took a quick peek over his shoulder, looking back. Wanting to see where he's at now. No, he's just probably coming. I think he's probably coming to the white flag here, if I'm not mistaken. So he's wanting to come into the lapper. He's going to have to try to figure out exactly where he is in relationship to the guy behind him and manage these guys now in front of him. Here comes Chance. He's getting hung up behind a couple of guys right now. That guy moved over. That was a good job by that lap rider right there.
Shout out to Brantley Schnell, my neighbor here at Gatorback Cycle Park, moving up into the 19th place position, all the way back there, still turning in the 157s. He's obviously had some struggles out here in this second moto.
Yeah, Nicholas running 150 that time to Chance's 152, so now the gap's 5 seconds. Those lappers definitely making a play, I think, in that little bit there. And you know, Chance, not sure. I kind of thought he was cat and mouse a little bit, and we're going to see a little bit of late charge if that was his goal. Wondering if he maybe just made that decision to do a little bit too late and then got hung up and it caught the lappers quicker than he anticipated.
Yeah,
good point.
Then you end up missing that opportunity because the lines aren't there that you were kind of thinking you were going to use later on if you're having to deal with the lap traffic.
I guess it could be a double-edged sword kind of as you roll through these final and closing moments. White flag is out. Romano now with a little over 5 second lead.
No, the next one's
not yet.
No, it's not yet. It's going to be the next flag. Yeah, the next one's white. He's holding it, but he didn't wave it, so it's the next one.
Oh, okay. One more lap to go.
Yeah, one more. Yeah, well, it'll be one more when it comes back.
Okay, I guess instead of 10 laps, it's 20-minute motos.
Yeah, we're doing
okay.
time. There you go.
Times. Yeah, that makes sense when you're turning 1 minute and 40-some second laps. Yeah.
Hey, Romano doing real well right now, coursing through all this lap traffic. So if you're watching at home, you're saying on live scoring, hey, he's slowing down. No, not necessarily. He's just got a lot to juggle right now.
Yeah.
As we watch him on the SLR Rifle Works live drone right there, Rodney.
Yeah, this drone coverage is outstanding. Really gives you a good view here of the lines that have developed in the track. The track's getting rough, which is, again, good for these guys, you know, needing to see these kind of conditions, because I promise you, as rough as this track is, it's even a little bit rougher at the Pro Nationals.
Yeah.
You know, so that's good for these guys to start easing into that, you know, getting a taste of it, seeing how to manage that situation.
Okay. Bang, there's your white flag for Nick Romano. FMF last lap, let's go.
So he went from a 150 last lap to a 153 this lap.
Wow. As does Chance Hymas.
So
a
Chance
153.
Chance doesn't pick anything up.
Yeah, just a victim of the track, the conditions, the riders, you know, just trying to work their way through that lap traffic, I think, is basically what slowed them down. But amazingly, still fast lap times when you look at the big picture.
Boy, when you look at the combined motos there, Romano sitting number 1, Hymas second, and Scherer sitting in the number 3 spot.
Yeah. He just got around Towers.
And now he just
Towers,
moved into
yeah.
the number 3 position on the track. Gets around GT money.
Matt LeBlanc, though, after that early attacks that he had on him, is still able to hang on to a top 5 position right now.
And Char coming through traffic with the rest of them still picking up, had a 151 that lap. We were 154 for Towers. That obviously made a difference in that pass right there, but 2 seconds faster than first and second. So he's obviously fit. We're late in the moto here. He's obviously putting down some pretty heated laps right now.
The only problem for him is he's 25 seconds to second place, Chance Hymas. You know, had he got that done a little, you know, and that's a good point, JH. You know, that's likely one of the riders that we need to be watching for here in the coming 2022 season.
I like seeing, you know, strength at the end of the moto. Guys are not giving up. I mean, obviously that's a solid lap, and he's been charging through the pack. I mean, that's impressive to put in a good lap time like that this late in the moto with all the traffic and everything else. That's a good sign that his program is solid.
Yes, it is. And final lap of racing. We're 10 laps deep, working on lap number 11, the final lap here of this 20-minute moto of 250 Pro Sport Class Racing.
Good job, guys.
Nick Romano taking the checkers and taking the win.
Leading a Yamaha charge here. If you look, Yamaha all but one of the positions. Chance in second through 7th place. That's a testament to that program and what those guys at Yamaha are doing right now.
Rodney and I, we talked about that a little bit early today. We talked about, hey, when it was Kawasaki, everything was green. Then the storm of KTMs, and we said, man, over these last few seasons, Yamaha is making sure there is a blue storm on the way.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 KTMs, 8th and 9th, and then a couple more Yamahas again. I mean, that's a sea of blue right there for
70% of the top 10 Yamahas.